Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this info session about a great collaboration and program, Snap Lens Lab at Otis College. I am Inez Bush, Assistant Dean of Extension at Otis College of Art and Design. And with me today, I am joined by Lindsay Heiser, Manager of Philanthropy Programming at Snap Inc., the makers of Snapchat, and Raul Moreno, Associate Professor at Otis College, who teaches in animation and game design in the BFA program, as well as our lead instructor for Snap Lens Lab. We are all here to share about the program and answer your questions. To get us started, I'd like to turn it over to Lindsay, who will provide some context about why this program was developed and the opportunity for you in participating in this program.
Great. Thank you so much, Inez. And just as an FYI, because I see Moran has already dropped a question in the chat, thank you so much for your questions. Please do continue to drop them in the chat. Hopefully we'll cover them all during our presentation, but we'll have plenty of time at the end to open up for Q&A based upon what you learn about today. But as Inez had mentioned, my name is Lindsay Heiser, and I oversee our global philanthropy here at Snap Inc. We are the makers of Snapchat and Lens Studio. My role is really to be able to engage our local communities globally where we have Snap offices and reach out to educational institutions or after-school programs, community-based organizations, and try and expose as many students as possible to the world of STEAM, so science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. And that piece really around arts is so important because if you've used Snapchat before, you can see that we really sit at the intersection of art and technology and design, and we're definitely a design-led and focused company. And so creating that really amazing user experience is definitely core to our team. I have the pleasure and honor of being able to work with numerous external partners around the globe to be able to have our Snap team members be everything from guest speakers to panelists to workshop leaders, providing feedback and critique, being able to do campus tours at our different offices around the world. So it's provided me this really amazing opportunity to not only connect with the community, but also get our Snap team members out into the community and training our future leaders and creators like all of you that are here. This has brought about numerous different partnerships, and we're excited that we're entering into our second year of partnership with Otis College of Art and Design to be able to bring 15 LA County high school students a very deserving summer experience where you'll get an opportunity to learn from both Otis College educators as well as Snap Inc. team members. And I'll save a little bit more about what it is that we'll be doing this summer together, but we really are excited about this program in particular because we understand the importance of design and augmented reality and getting that into your all's hands at such a young age so that, you know, maybe one day you can come and work at a company at like Snap or any other tech company of your choosing. So with that, we'll jump into more details about the program, but as you have questions and things like that, please do feel free to drop them in the chat, and we're all here to help support you and take you on this really fun journey over the course of 2 weeks this summer.
Thank you, Lindsay. So again, I'm Inez Bush, and I'm going to be letting people in as we talk. So every time that happens, there may be a little tiny hesitation, but excited to have you here. And just so that you know the structure of what we're going to do, I'm going to give you some details about the program. Lindsay's giving you the context, and then our BFA faculty and instructor, Raul, is going to give you a little bit more context about AR and what we actually do during the program. And then there'll be time after that for questions. So by all means, please continue to put your questions into the chat and we will get to them. I think we've allocated just enough time to be able to cover everything and get all of your questions answered. So first up, a little bit about Otis College of Art and Design. In case you aren't aware of the college, we are the oldest college of art and design in Los Angeles, and one of the top schools in art and design in the nation. We have students that are international as well as students from all over the country that come to our 4-year BFA program or our master's programs, as well as a lot of students that come to our extension programs as well, which this program would be a part of Extension, which is the continuing education branch of the college. Our goal is to prepare students for a dynamic future in the creative economy. That's one of our goals. And then we're located in Los Angeles, right near LAX. So like 5 minutes away from LAX. It's basically right next door. So if you don't know where we are, that's where we are. It's like kind of like the west side towards the South Bay, like that. And Otis is a leader in art and design education for over 100 years. And the college educates a diverse community of over 1,200 students in the BFA and MFA programs to become highly skilled, well-informed, and responsible professionals, empowering them to shape our world. And in Extension, we see 600 to 800 students per term. So you can add that on to the 1,200 to get a sense of how many people we reach with our creative programs throughout the year. In Extension, we have youth and adult programs, so everything from 5 years old up to 100 plus and years old. And we have year-round classes. We run 3 terms. The SNAP program happens during the summer term. So our programs are run in spring, summer, and fall. And specifically wanted to mention to you all, we have high school and pre-college programs. The distinction of pre-college means that there actually is college credit for some of our programs that we offer. And we have tuition waivers for courses for both teachers and high school students. So that means if a class is running and there's space in the class and you aren't able to pay for the class for some reason, we do have spaces in our classes for allowing students in to take the classes as long as the class is running and there's a room in the class. And so that URL that you're seeing there is how to find out a little bit more about that. So right now we're gearing up for summer courses, and then around midsummer would be fall courses like that. And if you have any questions about that, you're always welcome to reach out to me directly. But today we're talking about our 2nd annual Snap Lens Lab at Otis College, which we're really excited about. And it's all about augmenting reality with Snap's Lens Studio. In addition to Lens Studio, you'll be learning other programs like Maya and Photoshop and Illustrator in order to develop your creations to produce these snap lenses and other things as well. And so this is a little video about augmented reality. I'm gonna here we go. And
some things can't be said.
Can you hear it?
Okay. It's better if they're cheeked or slothed or vegetables or, I don't know, this. Sometimes it's better said with your outfit. Oh, or with your eyeballs. Hey guys. Or with the upper left corner of your forehead. Some truths are better conveyed in a world made of bubble wrap. Sat over a jar of mayonnaise, moving at the speed of light, in a heated battle with ghost pandas that only last 24 hours. Sometimes you just need a hug. So find a friend to hug. And sing. Some things can't be said. And when they can't be said, there's a better way to not say them.
Let's go back out.
Some things can't.
All right. So that's a little sense of what you're in for this summer if you come to Snap Lens Lab at Otis College. Lindsay, anything more you want to add around the video at all?
Yeah, hopefully it just highlights a few of the different ways that you can see how augmented reality works. It really augments your reality. So being able to real time use, whether it's your phone to change it on a face lens or the world around you, or even our spectacles, which are our hardware that showcase different ways to use augmented reality. You'll have the opportunity to be able to learn from Raul how to create some of these different lenses, and you don't have to have any prior experience beforehand. So I think that that's like the beauty of it, right? Is that AR is still relatively new. And so the whole goal of this program is to provide that exposure and access to AR and all of the fun things that you might have and the creative ideas that you have in your head, and like how you can bring those to life and then share them with the world. So really excited about all the possibilities this summer.
Great, thank you. So who is this for? It's for high school students from underrepresented communities, including seniors. I've had that question come at me a couple times already. So yes, absolutely, seniors are welcome to apply. So that means you will have graduated by the time the program begins, which is fine. It's 2 weeks. It's a pre-college experience. It's the last 2 weeks in July. So July 17th through the 28th, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Each day. And it happens on our campus. It is not a remote class. It is on campus in one of our computer labs. And we, like I was mentioning, we are right near the airport. So that gives you a sense of where you need to get to on a daily basis. And there are 15 spaces and 15 full scholarships. So this program is generously supported by SNAP Inc. And so we have full scholarships for this program completely. Okay, there we go. So what you're going to learn, you're going to learn how to develop Snapchat lenses, which are basically filters. And you saw some examples of how that might work in what we just saw in the video. You're going to learn all about augmented reality and what that means and how that can be applied in our future, with technology. You're going to create 2D and 3D art and learn design skills. So the choices that one makes, there's the fundamental and foundational skills of design in order to approach creating a design. And you can see here students' work. This is from last summer. The student was brainstorming on their lenses and where they were going to take this, and that's what you're seeing here. Maya, which is 3D modeling, you're going to learn that program. Photoshop, Illustrator, you'll go deeper into those programs if you already know them with an expert. So you'll be able to take yourself to new levels and new dimensions. And then, of course, Lens Studio and how that works. So that won't be a mystery by the time the program is done. And some more details about the program. As I mentioned, we have expert faculty from Otis College animation and game design majors who's going to be teaching you, and you're going to hear a little bit more from Raul in just a few moments, and a recent graduate who is also studying to be a teacher in high school. And Salem will be a support instructor, like a teaching associate in this program. SNAP team members, we have had a tremendous support from SNAP, from Lindsay, bringing teams together with all different aspects, talking about careers, talking about presenting your work, talking about what the opportunities are, giving coaching and feedback as well. And so that's a great part of the program as well. Guest speakers that are industry professionals that share about their experiences being in the field. Most of them will also have been Otis graduates. And so, so they will also be sharing about their experience of coming through a college experience into their field and how they got to where they are. So you get that career awareness as well. Field trips, we're going to be taking a site visit to SNAP headquarters, which was really exciting last year. And then also we'll be curating some AR experiences around LA, some that SNAP has been involved in, some that are outside of SNAP. So you see different applications for augmented reality. And that's always really exciting too. And that day we might wind up a little bit later that day, maybe till 4:30, but for the most part, the days end at 4 o'clock. And then at the end, there'll be a final presentation. And what's really cool about that is there's another program that's happening at the same time as this program, plus a couple of weeks, which is our Summer of Art program. And that has about 200 students in it. And on the last day of that program, there's a final exhibition. And we have paired this program with that program so that the final exhibition happens at the same time as your final presentation and exhibition. And you'll get to see the work that's done by those students and their families and friends will come to see your work, as well as your family and friends going to see their work. And so it's a really nice synergistic experience. And you get to see what's been going on in the other rooms while you've been in your classroom. And it's very, very inspiring. So it's also a career awareness experience as well, because you'll be able to see what other possibilities there are and how other applications can work in these programs as well. And so here's, I was mentioning the field trips. Here's some samples of the field trips. You can see on the left, the 3 images. There's Lindsay giving a tour to our 15 students from last summer. And that says Snap Academy, because you also get to see, there's a Snap Academies are programs that Lindsay can share a little bit more about, but that happens for students that are a little bit older, like in community colleges or above. And so this Snap Lens Lab at Otis College is kind of a precursor to that also. It puts you on a pathway for potentially being a part of that. And that program is a very amazing program. Lindsay, do you want to say a little something about it?
Yeah, you covered it well, but yeah, this program, so the Snap Lens Lab at Otis College is, as Inez had mentioned, for high school students. So really looking at like that 13 to 18 age range. And then really with our Snap Academies programs are a little bit longer. They stretch over 9 weeks, and those are for students 18 and above. And spread across a couple of different topics and things like that. So if anybody has students that are older, happy to share more information about that, but we'll keep it focused on the high school ones. But yeah, always kind of continuously thinking about, what are the different ways to be able to provide those stepping stones alongside your schoolwork, so that you have the experience needed to, land that internship, to do freelance work, to express yourself creatively, to learn about the industry, to network with people, to see if you even like it, right? You're at such like a interesting point, I can imagine, in your lives, kind of thinking about like, well, what is it that I want to do and what's interesting to me? And so this is a really great opportunity over the course of the 2 weeks this summer to explore, like, do I really like design? Is augmented reality really my thing? And be able to be immersed in an experience where you're able to connect with other like-minded people that want to explore the same things.
Yeah, and that's a really good point about immersive. This is an immersive experience, and that is what you'll find out. Do you like staying in front of a computer and making the magic happen there? Do you like another part of the business? Is there another business? And so these experiences are really important for you to help define your vision for your future. And also, I just wanted to mention on the right side, we went to 3 different museums, like using LA as a lab. What you're seeing I don't know if you're seeing my cursor, but the top one, the middle one, this picture here, and the bottom one here is the Japanese American Museum. And this was a very important exhibit because it puts you in the experience of when the Japanese American communities were taken from their homes and put into what they called internment camps. And it's a very powerful time, and something that we are all reckoning with. But seeing the exhibit and putting yourself inside of it really does give you a different point of view of empathy, a different aspect of what it means to be, to be empathetic to others. And so you can see here, this is just one of this is behind here, all this, it's kind of on the small side, but hopefully you can see this. These are actually actors that were brought onto a green screen and then shot in wearing clothing from the era, and they're all kind of acting and milling around. It's actually a video, which I can't show you, but it's a video of them milling around. And then right here is a person that's walking by. That's one of our students that was experiencing this. And so the AR experience is looked at through either an iPad or an iPhone or something like that. But if you're not looking through that, you would just see her and the empty space behind, and then the buildings like that. No bus, none of that. And here's another example of how that worked with a Murakami exhibit. So Murakami creates these structures that are down here, these reflective kind of monsters. And here is what it looked like when this person was standing here. And then when I took my my iPhone and you know, kind of clicked on the software and then went and looked at the same image, this is what I saw through my phone. So it's just interesting to see. And that's what you'll be gaining more understanding of. How did that happen? How can you do that? How can I make a difference in the world with this kind of a thing? Or how can I go into advertising with this kind of thing? You know, like different modes, different ways of looking at it. Now, who is eligible? Students like you who are curious, engaged, and passionate about their creativity, interested in learning about augmented reality, design, 3D modeling tools, identify as coming from underserved communities. That's, you know, there's a lot of different underserved communities to think about. In Los Angeles, the idea is Los Angeles County, but the idea is that you have to be able to get here. So even if you were on the borderline and you were Orange County, but you had a way to be able to come to the school on a daily basis, that's what is most important, is being able to come to campus, because it's not a remote program. For this kind of an intensive, it's better to be in person. And again, no prior experience or skills are required. And now I'm going to turn it over to Raul, and I'm going to stop sharing my screen so that Raul can share his screen and give you a little bit more of an experience.
You're muted, Inez.
That's because I clicked on this toolbar right here. So I'm sorry. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I'm going to let Raul share his, and then I'm going to come back and give you a little bit more after Raul's presentation.
Hello, everybody. My name is Raul Moreno. I'm an associate professor at Otis College of Art and Design, and I teach in the animation and game design departments, and I've been there for a while. I studied architecture. My background, a little bit about me. I studied architecture. I'm the first person in my family to graduate from college. And I found very quickly that I was very interested in that little area between that where art and design and technology overlap. I was on the computer pretty early on, as soon as I could get out of the wood shop and start to build things in the computer. That was very fun for me. And we're at a very interesting time right now. Augmented reality is an amazing technology, and it's really, really beginning to take off. You're going to find augmented reality has applications in the design and construction industry, in manufacturing and education, healthcare, marketing, advertising, adventure, sports, travel, tourism, fashion, beauty, fitness, and finally the gaming industry. I'm going to show you a couple of things that I find that are quite interesting. Let's see. I'm going to jump over and I'm going to show you, introduce you to an artist. His name is Rifek Anadol. And let's see here. Can you see this here? Yes, you can. Okay. This is a installation that he did in him and his team did in Davos, Switzerland. Beautiful organic forms that are all created in CG and in AR. Let's see, another one. This is an augmented reality where they took the architect. This is Casa Batlo. And this is all augmented reality done at a large scale. Let's see. And this is Antonio Gaudi's Casa Batlo. It's a beautiful building. Let's see what else we got up here. This is Machine Hallucinations. I don't watch the whole thing. But yes, some amazing examples of some beautiful uses of augmented reality. These are all these really beautiful installation art done. We'll stop there, and I'm going to go over here and I'll show you some practical examples of augmented reality. This is about 5 years old, and this is an IKEA ad. It's about 58 seconds. I'll show that to you. Say maybe share. No, I'm okay here.
Hey, IKEA would like everyone to know about Place, our new augmented reality app. Built on Apple's new AR kit, you can easily place true to scale 3D models of IKEA furniture in your place. Scan, browse, select, move, and place. So that could mean less of this. And less of this. And probably more of this. We want to make it easier for people everywhere to imagine a better place. Share this place. And this place. Try Place in your place.
I thought that was a really nice example of a commercial application of augmented reality there. Let's see, I'm looking at the questions. Okay. Let's see. You guys are probably familiar with this. These Nike ads in Tokyo, billboards, they're all augmented reality. They're quite interesting and entertaining and beautiful. See, there's another one of these I want to share with you, about 38 seconds. The last one is a Louis Vuitton ad in Tokyo using Kasuma's artwork here. Let's take a look. This is really nice. And augmented reality is an amazing tool. The one thing that I like about Snap is that it's all integrated in a very well-designed ecosystem, and it's all the tools are solid. They're well thought out. They work really well. You're not having to patch certain things around and using things that aren't really meant to be used in a certain way. The ecosystem is very solid and well thought out and worked out. And so the tools are there. If you're worried about not knowing certain things, we're going to go over that with you. What we're going to be going over is, some of the design tools. Let me just show you this real quick.
Whew. Okay, ready, go.
Open it up and close it.
Hi, I'm Aradhana Vaidya. I'm the product manager for Lens Studio at Snap. Lens Studio is a desktop software to create lenses. It is your gateway to creating unique and powerful AR experiences. Over the past few years, we have seen our community create immersive experiences, both for fun and utility. Lens Studio is the 3D tool which enables this creation. It has all the bells and whistles of a professional 3D creation software, and what's special is that it's tailored towards the AR creator. In Lens Studio, we have state-of-the-art graphics and rendering. We have a material
Okay, so
editor
we'll stop there.
that
I'm going to
lets you
switch back
create
over
custom
to
materials
one of the
and
tools we're going to be using, and this is Autodesk Maya. And we're going to get a brief introduction into this, and I'll go through all the tools from the user interface to how to make some very simple things that we can use in our Snap lenses. So there's this. We'll learn how to make some simple things in Maya, very straightforward. Don't worry about the technology at all. If I come back over here, I'm going to switch to Lens Studio. I'm going to go to New Share and make sure we're looking at that. There we have it. And this is Lens Studio. The nice thing about this is very thoughtfully designed. And the hotkeys are using in Lens Studio are the same or very similar, almost identical to what Maya uses for their hotkeys. So I think the transfer of learning is very efficiently laid out. Let's see if I get a new share over here. One of the things we do is when we start the project, we're going to be going through and we're going to start with concept and iteration. Someone's going to come up with an idea. They're all going to come up with ideas. You're going to pitch those ideas. You're going to get feedback from your team on those ideas. And some of the Snap team members will come and visit us and give us feedback on our lenses and our ideas. You're going to iterate these things. You're going to go through and you're going to create some of the artwork that you're going to use in your Snap Lens Labs Studio software. And we're going to make our lenses based on these concepts. So I'll just go through some of these. You've already seen these. So we're going to keep a sketchbook. We're going to build up our ideas. We're going to create ideas and begin to implement those ideas. Just one there. And we have it. Okay. Okay. You guys have any questions? Please let me know. It's a lot of fun. It's a very intensive 2 weeks, but we're going to go from the very beginning, the concepting, all the way to the implementation and execution of an AR lens. And one of the things, like I said, I really like about the Snap ecosystem is everything is really well designed, it's tightly controlled, and all the tools work. And we're going to go through it from the beginning to the end. Okay.
Thank you, Raul. Thank you very much. And we will get to the questions in just a little bit. And so this is some of the comments from some students from last year. I'll give you a moment to read it. So it gives you a sense of what what people are gaining from doing a program like this. Okay, and how to apply. So if you have your phone or you want to take a snapshot of this QR code will take you right to this same link right here. And basically the application is a simple application, but be sure to answer the questions thoughtfully and thoroughly, because that's how we get to know you. There's no portfolio requirement. There's just a couple of questions that give us a sense of you and what you might gain from this program. And that's what we'll be looking at that. And just we have 15 spaces. So it is, we have to make sure that we have kind of covered different representatives from different areas. But there's also, if we, there's this program now, and then hopefully we would have one again in the following year. So the deadline is May 15th. So don't delay to do the application. And I can actually, I'm just going to show you the, this is the website that's what that QR code will take you to. And then here's where it says apply now. You click on that and you go to the application, and you can see it is quite simple. But here's where you want to make sure that you're giving us a little sense of yourself and what you might gain from this program. And you can check into this yourself, but that was the part that I was referring to, where please let us know what is what's your drive, what's your interest in doing this program. And let me go back to the presentation, and we are now ready to open up for questions. So let's see if we have some existing questions already. I think one of the questions that was in here, Lindsay already answered, but there's, did you answer the one about the program free for students grades 7 through 12? Okay, this is not for 7th grade, it's a high school program. So it's 9th grade and up is who this program is eligible for. So 9th grade through 12th. And as we said, seniors as well. This is not a middle school program, it's a high school program. And the other question that's in here is, I saw there was another question.
Yeah, the other questions that popped up were, will the classes be online? And so she's just sharing again, this is an in-person intensive 2-week program that will be taking place in Los Angeles at Otis College Art and Design. So it's a fully in-person program. So there won't be any remote or virtual options. And then also in regards to the scholarship. So Inez just shared with you the application link for being able to apply for the program. And so essentially what we've done is we've come together along with Otis to be able to provide 15 scholarships. So there's no cost to anyone who participates in the program. So essentially, if you click on the link and you thoughtfully fill out the application, what we then do is as a team is we review all of the applications and help put together a cohort of 15 scholars that will be with us this summer. So again, there's no cost to you. The scholarship fully funds your participation in the program, and you're able to learn alongside other like-minded folks for 2 weeks at Otis College of Art and Design. All of the materials. So you're set up with like your own desk station, you're set up with like a sketchbook, anything and everything for you to be able to thrive during the program is there for you. Nathan, I see your follow-up question. If there's a lot of people applying, how do you choose the 15 scholarships? Is it a lottery? So no, it's actually based upon your application and how you thoughtfully respond to the question. So really we want to hear, as Inez had mentioned, we're not asking for a portfolio because we understand that like you may not have current design skills, but you might be really interested. We want to understand what drives you. What are your interests? Why do you care about art? Why do you care about design? What are the different things in the world that like make you tick? And how would this program be beneficial for you, right? Like, how is this going to take you to the next level of wanting to continue to create lenses? How do you think AR can have a positive impact, you know, in the world? Being able to really share from that standpoint. And so what will happen is that we will, between now and May 15th, be accepting applications. We gather all those applications together, and then we work together to review and read everybody's responses. And then that helps us whittle down to a smaller group. And then we come together as a committee to review and then ultimately select those 15 scholars that get selected from the program. So hopefully that helps answer your question from that one. Inez or Raul, anything that you want to add on in regards to the application process and how the review process that our two teams work on together?
Just to say that we have a team, and also so the team will look at all the applications. We also include folks from admissions to give us their input as well. And then, yes, it is very limited to 15 students, but really we want to get a sense of you in the application, and it's a very simple application. And there is no fee to apply the application. You just submit it when you're done. And then there's everything is included as far as like the, you know, the computers at the college will give you a journal to utilize. So it's very everything is included. Let me just see. There's another question here. There is the question about transportation that will depend. That's an open-ended question at this time. I'm not certain how last year we wound up, everybody did find their way, ability to get to the program. And so that, you know, what I would say is just apply and we'll see how we can make that work if that's, if that comes up to it. So
and Alex, thanks so much for joining. Appreciate that you're here and maybe even have some of your students in the center tuning in. So yeah, just reiterating, always nice to see a familiar name pop up on the screen. But Inez's point is that we encourage all the students to apply. And if there is something where it comes up between the transportation being the only barrier holding you back, we can get creative around different solutions of, you know, potentially providing like a metro pass or something like that. So we'll take that by a case situation once we've selected the 15 scholars.
yeah. And then the next question is, can you make animation films or videos using what we learn? Raul, do you want to take that one?
Yeah, yes, they do. A lot of these skills transfer over, some of them directly. Maya is something that you use in animation and games and film and advertising and everything else. You can animate these things and make films with them. Photoshop, those tools are fundamental, and as with Illustrator. So yes, that is absolutely yes.
Got it. And then, so applying for the scholarship is the next question. I think we've kind of covered that. But you can just go to the link that is, there's a link actually that somebody put into, I think it might have been Lindsay that put it into, there it is again at the very bottom. So you just click on that link, which will take you to this page, and then you click on apply now, and that's where you see this application. And as far as driving to the campus every day, yes, the program takes place on our campus. So that is what is done. It is not a residential program. We don't have the ability to have it be a residential program at this time. Let's see. What's the next one? Scholarship is not by apply, it's chosen. Moran, can you explain your question? Maybe go on off mute and explain what you're asking there.
Oh, I want to know, like, for the chosen, you guys already explained, you guys gather all the applications and you get just the 15 applicants that you guys choose to get the free services of the program.
Correct. That's, yes, we have 15 spaces for the program at this time. So we look at the pool of applicants and then make a decision from there as to who will receive the scholarship. The next question is about the other art. Oh, I see. That's a private question from somebody. Well, I'm going to answer this question. The other art program Otis offers during the summer for high school students. Otis has Summer of Art, which is, there are scholarships available for that program, but I think the scholarship application might have closed. I'm not certain, but you can look that up. Or there may be like a small grace period, but there's also that program, which is a college immersion program, and it has the option for housing as well, is also a program that students can register for and pay for. It's not just a scholarship program. Like this program is exclusively a scholarship program. That program has options. And if you're middle school or elementary school, if you have youth, we have summer camps as well. So summer camps goes from ages 5 to 14. Then there's the Summer of Art program, which is another college immersion program that has college credit attached to it. That's the one I was just mentioning. And then there's this program, which is a special program that we're doing in partnership with SNAP. How many applicants did we have last year? We also, I think we had about 45 or 50 applicants last year. And then we have the 15 slots, just like we did last year. When will we be announcing? It usually takes us a couple of weeks to go through and process this. So probably by the end of May, early June is when I would anticipate the announcement, unless we have the decision sooner. And I see Jay, you have raised your hand. Jay, would you like to ask your question?
Yes, I know you mentioned that there was a program for seniors that are 18 and over, if in case they don't get into this program. Which one is it, and do we have to pay tuition for it?
I
I
didn't
can-
mention it.
I can jump in on that program. I think you're referring to the SNAP Academies.
Oh, not the
Um,
Netflix. I have another program to share about it, but yeah, go ahead.
So unfortunately applications have closed, but what I'll do is I will drop that in the chat so that you can learn more and plan to apply for that program next year. It also is a free program where we actually provide a stipend for everyone who's participating in the program. That's 18 and plus. It's for community college students from the greater Los Angeles area. And then there's one virtual program as well. But all of that can be found in depth on the website there.
Thank you.
And then Jay, I have another program to share with you about. I just did a presentation about this the other day. We have a partnership with Netflix at Otis, and there's an entertainment marketing certificate coupled with an apprenticeship program that the application closes soon, like April 28th. But you can see that, you can learn about that program on our website. You can also message me directly in this, and I'll get you a link to it. That program is 14 months of a full-time certificate for entertainment marketing, which is not about making the films or games or like that. It's about promoting the games and films. So there, there's 3 different tracks. One is design, illustration, and the third is editing. So let's say you want to do trailers to promote films, you would go into the editing track. If you wanted to do key art like poster design and promoting, that way you would go into the design track. And so that's 14 months of a full-time program, certificate program, plus 6 months as an apprentice. It's with Netflix partners. So in the same way that Snap has marketing partners that they work with, Netflix also has marketing partners that they work with, and that's who the apprentice will be working with. And so I'm gonna move off of that right now, but that is a program that we have for
Thank
students
you.
that are 18 and older, and you can certainly reach out to me about that. Let's see. We talked about how to apply. We talked about when you'll be notified. Yes, so the program is Monday through Friday, so your weekends are free. Your weekends, you may have some brainstorming to do in that weekend in between, but other than that, you're on your, you have your time. Let's see, and that was already answered anyway. And Nathan, I see you there, but I'm just gonna see this question before there. This program, the question is how much does it cost to take these classes if you don't get the scholarship? This is a scholarship program. This is specifically a scholarship program. So it's 15 spaces because it's a lot to learn in a short period of time. And Raul and Salem need to be able to make sure that everybody's gotten the learning. So it's pretty in depth. And so that's why it's 15 spaces. And it is 100% free for students that are accepted into the program. So Nathan, you have a question here and you're raising your hand. So
yeah, sorry. Can you say again when will the chosen ones be announced?
It takes us usually a couple of weeks to go through and process this. So the application closes on May 15th. Last year we did extend it slightly because we wanted to make sure that there was enough time for folks to get through. So it depends on how the applications come in and if we will have an extension. If we have an extension, it wouldn't be more than a week, but it'd probably be just a couple days. But if, chances are based on our time frame, we will probably not have an extension. So do get your application in by May 15th. And then it'll take us a couple of weeks to make those decisions. So by the end of May, the beginning of June is when we would be able to let everybody know.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, and then the other thing you asked before is the difference between Maya and Blender. And so I'm going to let Raul take that one. And then Moran, I do see your hand raised after this.
To answer the question about Maya and Blender, fundamentally, they're very similar programs. They both model, texture, light, and animate. The interfaces will be different, so the hotkeys and things like that will be different. If you understand Blender already, learning Maya will be very easy for you. I like to use Maya because Maya is an industry standard and it's really good. And the Lens Studio basically uses a lot of the same hotkeys that Maya uses. It's a really easy thing to teach simultaneously.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. And Moran, do you have your question?
Yeah, my question is, okay, this program is only for the summertime, and you already said that it will be the 15th, but no charge. It will be the scholarship. So you guys provide for free for our children, like the students, to take the opportunity to for this program. But what after right after high school, when they finish 12th grade, would they be able to take this program with the scholarships for free still?
What we're saying is that recent graduates are able to apply. And I would just say, so if you have a senior, you can definitely apply for this program. And if they're older, you can apply, and then we can just see what happens if the student is a little bit older. It just depends on who we have, who the pool is and what we would have. But again, Lindsay was mentioning Snap Academies, which are for this year, they're closed, but those are for students that might have already been a year or two into college, geared towards community colleges. And then we also have that Netflix program. So if you want to know more about those things, Moran, then go ahead and you can, in the chat, you can chat directly to me and to Lindsay, and we can get you that information. And Olivia, regarding your question about Summer of Art, I know it says no exceptions. I'm not sure, I'm not running that program, but you can also do the same. If you want to directly give me your email address, I will connect you to the person who is overseeing the Summer of Art, and they will be able to answer that question as well. Sheila, you're asking for which link?
The entertainment one with Netflix.
Okay, so if you would send me, actually, you can direct message me through the chat, or I'm going to give you my email is ibush@otis.edu. So you have to send. I need to be able to send it to you. So if you could just send me an email, I can get you connected to that Netflix program. Okay.
Also, Inez, if you go to the last slide of your presentation, I know it has your contact information there with your email address, so that if students want to follow up and send something to you.
Yeah, that's actually that is the
Oh, is that the general? That is the general.
Which works for me as well. I mean, I check that email every day too. So, and actually you can just QR code this. Thank you, Lindsay. I forgot I put that in there. So yeah, and that external programs that's under me. So either myself or my program coordinator, who is Salem, who's also going to be the teaching associate, are checking that on a regular basis. So you can absolutely reach out to me that way. Let's see. The next one up, do we bring lunch and snacks? Lunch is covered, snacks are covered, but if you want something in particular, you are welcome to bring that as well. What is an example of the daily schedule? Yeah, the daily schedule is a lot of this is studio work. So there's lectures and studio, and sometimes there'll be presenters that we had mentioned, like either guest speakers that are, giving you some career awareness, or folks from SNAP that are going to be guiding you as well. Raul, Lindsay, maybe you guys want to chime in on this one. Raul, maybe for in the classroom stuff.
Yeah, we'll jump into the software. We'll start with Photoshop, and then we'll move into Illustrator and move into Maya, and then the Lens Studio programs. But before that, you're going to be doing a lot of concepting and iterating, and you saw some of the concept boards. So that stuff takes time, and then getting feedback from your peers and people teaching the class, and the visiting guests. So it's quite a busy 2 weeks.
Yeah, and it seems like it might, like when you're in school, if you're in classes for 50 minutes, 50 or 45 or an hour, and it feels like this seems like it's going to be a crazy amount of time, but this is the opportunity to get into that space of flow where your creative juices are flowing and you're able to go beyond that, momentary do something quickly, perform and wrap up and leave. This gives you the space. That's how artists work. Artists work, in a more self-contained, longer period of time to get to those amazing, crazy ideas that you saw in the work that both Lindsay and Raul were sharing with you.
That's important, because it is quite immersive, and you're going to come up with one idea, and you're going to sort of work with it, and you're going to iterate that, and you're going to come up with something that's much better, because you're going to get a lot of feedback, and you get time, have time to go back and revisit it and make it, something special. So it's a nice thing.
And so the next, Lindsay, is there anything else you wanted to add to that, or should I? No, okay.
Nope,
So
I think we can keep rolling.
Okay, so the next one is about college credit. This program is not a college credit program. Last year was our first year, and this is our second year into it. We didn't want to start with that being a pressure for students to have the college credit, aspect of it. And it also requires a certain amount of time for college credit as well. So at this time, that program is not a college credit program. Yes, thank you. Let's see. So somebody's asking if the design programs are provided. Since all the work is done in our studios, yes, the programs are provided. They're not for you, you take certain type of computer to run some of these programs. So you don't have homework at night to do these programs. You may have research to do at night, like that may be some work that you're going to do during the weekend in between the 2 weeks to brainstorm so that you can get to the magical work that you're going to do at the end of the program. But you'll have access to all of the programs in our computer labs. And yes, this program will, the question I'm reading right now is, if my son's goal is to apply to Otis College in the future, would this summer program help him in the future? How it's going to help is it's going to inform your portfolio. And it's also, any of the programs that students come and take at Otis, I think they're, admissions is always looking at that as a feeder program. Like Summer of Art, the program I mentioned, is the biggest feeder program into the college, because students, they understand the Otis way, and they just naturally are having an affinity for the kind of students that we're looking for. And so it definitely would be something that would be beneficial and helpful. I also will mention, as I did at the beginning of the program, that we do have tuition waivers for high school courses and pre-college courses throughout the year. And so, you can also take advantage of those, and that you can reach out to me about that as well. I can tell you more about that. Do we prefer 12th graders, or is it a mix of high schoolers? I think what we liked last year was the breadth of the student population. We tried to make it so that everybody's informing each other and influencing each other. So it was a mix of students that had some experience to no experience to some, to older to younger. But it is, we're looking for like a mix, and also to represent different underserved communities. So, we're looking to make sure that it's a nice balance between all. Can students take the final production files home at the end of the session? Absolutely, Raul. They take their work home. Yes. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And this is a great opportunity to build a portfolio and build some skill sets that are transferable and very useful.
And then, Moran, I do see your hand, but I have a couple more. I'm going to call.
I'll just jump in really quickly on that question too. I think one of the most exciting things that I always enjoy about these programs is that literally, like we've been saying, is you can come in with no experience, and by the end of the program, you actually publish your own Snapchat lens. And so not only like can you take it home, but you can also share it with all of your friends and family on Snapchat, as well as our Snapchatter community. So like, there's this ability to include it in your portfolio, but there's also this ability to kind of showcase your work and all of the different pieces that lead up to it. So some of the different things that Raul was showing you was so important in the design process. It's not just like, let's get into Lens Studio and create a lens. There's steps, right? There's brainstorming, there's ideating, there's concepting, there's sketching. Okay, now let's get into the software. Well, how do I create whatever, I was brainstorming this big gnarly idea, and then it's like, well, how do I create that? And so Raul takes you through every step of the process along with Salem. And then you're like, okay, great. I've built like the different creative assets that I want to be in my lens. Well, now how do I put all this together to create a lens? Okay, great. Now we're going into Lens Studio and thinking about that. And then by the end, you're able to publish. So you have assets, you have kind of creative pieces at every step of the journey. And I will tell you, and you'll hear this actually from our Snap team members, that's how many of them have gotten jobs in the industry, is that it's not always your final project that you submit. It's talking about your journey. It's talking about, where did you get the inspiration from? Where did you get stuck, or where did you have a challenge? Where did you realize that you had to pivot and do something different? And then ultimately, how did you get to the final piece? And I will tell you too, even working at Snapchat, is that like a lot of times things are work in progress. If you look at the app, right? The app started one way almost 11, 12 years ago and looks completely different. It's always a constant work in progress. And so kind of thinking about your art practice that way as well, which will be something I know that the team goes into, and I was able to witness in a couple of the different sessions over the summer as well.
Yeah. And also I want to mention that when my son was applying to Otis as a college and he met with the admissions counselor, that what Lindsay just said about process was, the advice was for some of the work was actually to show the process. So you're limited to how much you can show, but through Slide.Room, you can actually you can show within the image, like you can show some of the process. Let's say what Raul was showing about the journal and those ideas, maybe showing that and then showing the final piece. You can do that sort of thing. And so it's really good, because like at Otis, what I learned when I went through this process with my son is they're looking for you in your work. They're looking for your point of view, what you have to say, your voice, maybe something like the logic that you took, in creating it. And those are the kinds of things that you can show with process. So it isn't all about the slick final piece that, the final piece, you want that to be strong, but also showing that process. And I do highly recommend, if you're planning to go to an art and design college, that you do make an appointment with an admissions counselor, because they'll give you that kind of nuanced knowledge, and they're not going to try and, they're not going to criticize your work to the point where they're saying, oh, this is horrible. They may give you some input, like a few more observational drawings would be good, or focus on this, but it's usually from a very positive place. So I just wanted to throw that in there, since I have a lot of people here that might be interested in applying to colleges. I see that Lindsay answered about the field trips, that we do have transportation that is absolutely provided. So how that works is we all meet at the college, we get in the field, we get on the bus, we go where we're going, and then come back to the college. And then that's how you would meet your family or drive yourself, depending on your age, afterwards. Moran, did you get your question answered or were you still having a question?
Yeah, but I was also trying to ask, you said earlier, before Lindsay mentioned the awesome of all the program for our students to learn, our children. You said this program could also be taken during the semesters, like would it be online or in person?
This program is a summer program for 2 weeks and the second 2 weeks in July. During the year, we have tuition waivers, and we also, for courses that we have in both the fall and the spring term. Some of those are online, some of them are on site. And, you can either pay for the program or you can, if you have a need, you can also apply for the tuition waivers for those. The key is the class has to be running, and for the class to run, there has to be enough paid students. It's kind of like the catch 22, like for those courses. They're not scholarship courses, but when we have a course that's running and there's space in it, we want to provide it as much as we can to anybody who might need that ability. So those courses are usually on the weekends, sometimes after school evenings, but mostly they're on the weekends. And if you want to reach out to me through this external programs link, or I can give you more information about that. And then I see that there's a new question about the dates of the classes. So thank you, Lindsay. But just to reiterate, it's the last 2 weeks in July, Monday through Friday, July 17th through the 28th, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. for the weekdays on campus at our college. So does anybody else have another question, or did we answer everything for you? Is there anything that you wish you would have heard that you want to know? Well, it's our pleasure. It is a fantastic program. We are very grateful to Snap Inc. for supporting us with this program, and having this, this partnership has been just everything wonderful and joyous. And so that you might not know this, but the founder of Snap actually did our Summer of Art program years before he, when he was I think in high school. And so you just never know what's going to spark you, and just to keep your options open and be in an inquiry about what's next for you. And I would just say, when there's an opportunity like this comes along, seize the opportunity. And if you're not the one that's chosen, just know that, that you've been appreciated and acknowledged for being a part of the process. If we could open this up to every student, the same with Summer of Art scholarships. I used to run that program. I would take in every single student that I possibly could. And, I think part of what's important is putting yourself out there and continuing to put yourself out there, and not to feel like something is wrong if you don't are the ones selected. Yeah. And Raul and Lindsay, any last words?
Yeah, I can just jump in. Again, very grateful for the partnership with Otis College of Art and Design, and looking forward to reading your applications and getting to know you and your interest, and why art and design is exciting and interesting to you. And then looking forward to welcoming 15 scholars this summer, not only to Snap, but to our larger Snap community, for you all to just really be immersed in all things art, design, augmented reality, and Snapchat, which is a lot of fun. It's an amazing 2 weeks that I look forward to, now that we're doing it the second year each summer. And so don't count yourself out. Make sure that you apply and meet that May 15th deadline. We're looking for all different types of applicants to really create a very mixed and diverse cohort of curious learners excited to explore the worlds and the depths of design. So looking forward to your applications. Don't hesitate to reach out. All of the information that we shared is on the website link that we've been sharing in the chat. And yes, Nathan, hopefully we will see you on campus this summer. Best of luck to all of you.
Raul, anything from you? Thank you,
Yeah.
Lindsay.
Yeah, I look forward to the class with you guys. Enjoy teaching this. This is such an opportunity, a wonderful opportunity. And Snap has been such a wonderful partner to work with in all different levels of this. And you'll enjoy this very much and you get a lot out of it. So go through and fill that application out very carefully and thoroughly. And I wish you all the best.
Yes, and I agree with everything that was said. And I was just at a conference, and I'm just going to share this one last thought with you all as we leave. Don't close your own doors. That was a really great piece of advice from somebody who had received an award for an amazing program at a conference. And so don't close your own doors. And that's it. So thank you again. I'm gonna stay on. Yeah, absolutely. And please feel free to reach out. Myself or Salem will answer your questions and anything else that you need to know. Please let us be a resource to you.
Awesome. Thanks.
Yeah,
Have a
absolutely.
great night.
You too.
Thank you.
All right, we'll hopefully see you on campus.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, guys.